With us on the show now is Jacob Sessions. Thanks for being with us on the Oakland County Megacast.
Thanks for inviting me, guys. I'm really glad to be here. It's really cool.
So, for those that haven't been there, you're fairly new, aren't you?
Yeah. So we actually just opened on May 23rd. So we're really new.
Are you crazy? Who said that it would be smart to open during the middle of a pandemic? How's it going?
So when we first decided to open the place, we were just it was actually before COVID had really become like the thing that it is now. So we weren't really too worried about opening up. And then as soon as we, signed the lease and started working on the place to get it open, the pandemic hit. And it really impacted us in trying to get a lot of stuff done. The renovations and stuff we wanted to do were really hard to get going just because, no one was really able to go outside. So we couldn't get any like contractors or anything in. We had to do a lot of the work ourselves.
Oh my goodness! I'm just thinking about this, like the thought process and the decision making and those conversations each and every day. You're in the middle of a pandemic. Do you put things on hold or do you just go for it? And at the end of the day, when you put your money into a business, you're going to try to make it work. What do you think has been the benefit that you've learned coming out of this?
So when we first opened with all the COVID stuff going on, thankfully we kind of were the only business open at the time, other than McDonald's and Taco Bell and Wendy's, those things. As far as like a genuine restaurant goes, we were really all you could get. So that any of the business that would have gone to Taco Bell or anything like that didn't really want to go to Taco Bell anymore, we were the only place they could go to for a while.
So it worked in your favor because people were tired of the other stuff. They wanted something new.
Yeah.
How much has social media played in your game plan for getting your business off the ground?
So at first we didn't really have anything social media, and what we did have was we had Facebook, but it wasn't really done very well. But as we've kind of been open a little bit longer, we've been having someone concentrate on doing all the social media for us. So now we have our Instagram and our Facebook, and the Twitter's kind of fallen behind a little bit. We still got to do some work on that, but everything else we got going now.
Yeah, Twitter's for old people. You need to get on TikTok, right? You look like a young whippersnapper.
Oh boy.
Tyler hates when I use that word.
No, I don't mind. It's an interesting word.
So Jacob, and knowing that, Jacob Sessions with us here on the Oakland County Megacast. He is the owner of Big Dip Burgers. And knowing that, one thing that's come out of this pandemic is the push for local and to support local businesses and local restaurants. How has that played into your game plan of survival right now?
So on the one hand, it's really nice because other people want to support local businesses. So we do get a lot of people coming to us, with that support. But we're also trying to do our part in supporting the local stuff. We every day we buy our produce fresh from a market like a little grocery store just down the road from us. And then our ice cream, we get it from Hudsonville, which is another Michigan-based company. And same with like our bread. Our bread comes from Michigan Bread Company from Detroit. So we're kind of trying to keep it at least Michigan-made for the most part.
And even beyond that, Jacob Sessions, owner of Big Dip Burgers, with us on the Oakland County Megacast, you've partnered with other local community organizations, in particular the Walled Lake Consolidated School District's Parent-Teacher Association to provide meals to some people in the community. Can you talk a little bit about that partnership, how that blossomed, and why your new business got involved in this community, in our community?
We just wanted to do what we could to help, as many people as we could. The PTA Association, I don't quite remember how it started off, but we told them we would give them 10% of any proceeds of like for their little fundraiser, any 10% of any proceeds they could bring towards our way. So all the sales that they were able to bring us, we were able to give back to them from.
With that, Jacob, if we could talk a little bit, it is a topsy-turvy time right now to be a restaurant owner. You survive opening up in the middle of the pandemic. Now we look like we're about to go into a second wave. How concerned are you if we do go into another shutdown?
So I'm definitely very concerned just because, it's going to affect business no matter what. But because of the way our restaurant's kind of set up, we're not too worried about everything going on because we are a car hop. So we can bring the food out to the cars. We just have to be careful about the contact and how we handle cash and payments and stuff so that there's no, transfer of the virus. So constant gloves, wearing masks, but other than that, there's no indoor seating to worry about. We clean the tables outside as much as we can, but it's kind of cold, so people don't sit at those too much. So, and then we've got the Grubhub, DoorDash, and Uber Eats now, as well as we can do online orders through us, and we do free delivery within 2 miles. So we're kind of hoping on those things to help keep us going with everything going on.
Well, we hope so as well. And I will say, so you're a car hop. Are you wearing roller skates? Because if so, I want to send Tyler out there for a day.
We've been discussing the roller skates, but currently we're not doing the roller skates. But if I'm pushing for them at least by next summer.
Right. Well, you're the big cheese there at the Big Dip Burgers. Can't you make it happen?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just consulting with my partners about how we want to handle it because there's some separate insurance there and some other things we got to take care of.
Well, I think Tyler will sign a waiver, and I think we should send him out to be.
Yeah, they'll sign one for me. That's what that means. They'll take my hand while I'm sleeping. And
no, I think you should get out and experience what's happening in some of these industries that we talk to on a daily basis.
I've done other fun stuff here, so it's like, what now? What, I'll do this.
Right. But you have to be a good waiter too.
Of course. Oh, always. Service is my number one goal.
And talking about that, Jacob, how hard is it for you right now to find employees?
So when we first opened, it was quite a struggle. There was no one really. It was all young kids, so we kind of struggled with having anyone other than like me and some family in like a position of like a manager, like managerial positions and such. But as far as getting servers and people to help with the ice cream and stuff like that, we didn't have too much problem. There was a lot of younger kids that needed, not too young, obviously over 16, but younger kids that were able to get jobs for us or from us.
Well, it's a great experience for them as well if this is their first job, because back in the beginning when you first opened, I'm sure it was an issue because so many people were still getting the federal unemployment benefits as well. Mm-hmm. So every business, you drive up and down Orchard Lake Road, pretty much every business right now has a help wanted sign out there looking for assistance. And knowing that and going into the winter months, what does your operation look like going into these colder weather months?
So now that it's kind of getting cold and we're having to cut back on employees, we have a cook who helps me when we get like busier, or I take my day off on Tuesdays just to get 1 day a week, and he takes over on Tuesdays. So he's one of the employees we kind of keep around all the time. But other than that, we only really use some of the other workers if we really need them or like to help open in the morning. But for the most part, and I've been really lucky for this, but we've had a lot of friends and family that have been willing to help us for free for the most part, or, just for a meal or something throughout the day.
Jacob, I will say, hearing you say that, I'm glad I'm not related to you right now. Although I'm sure I would be happy to help out. But you're a new business there in the area. Jacob Sessions with us here on the Oakland County MegaCast. He is the owner of Big Dip Burgers. What makes your establishment different from other burger joints in the area?
So definitely one thing is that the fresh ingredients, trying to keep it all just as fresh and local as possible. And then some people who work there like to say that one of our big things is that grill that's in the back of the kitchen. It's actually the same grill that's been in that restaurant since way back when it was, I think it was an A&W before it was even Tom's Root Beer. So that's, I mean, 60, 70 years that grill's been there. So a lot of people like to say there's a lot of flavor built into that grill.
What made you want to do this? It seems like it really is a big leap of faith. And then in the middle of this, a pandemic as well. What made you want to do this, and what advice would you give to other small business owners?
Well, you definitely got me there. It completely was a leap of faith. I've always really loved cooking. It's been my passion my whole life, but I've been scared to cook for people or like as a job. I was always terrified that would kind of take that passion from me, if that makes sense. But I was just kind of driving down the road and saw the corner car hop empty. That like it's been for about 3 years now, and just decided, might be worth a shot. But if I had to give some advice, I'd say maybe a little more planning than that.
But I love that you did that and you followed your intuition, because a lot of people would maybe think that and keep driving, but to take it from just a thought to following through and actually opening, I think says so much about who you are, and the fact that you have so much support from your family and friends as well. Is just a testament to who you are and everything that you're doing over there at Big Dip Burgers. It's not easy to open a new restaurant, and definitely not easy to do it in the middle of a COVID-19 crisis. Quickly, before we let you go, let people know where you're located if they want to swing by, and also what's the most popular items on your menu.
So real quick, if people are trying to find us, our address is 725 East Walled Lake Drive, and we're actually right on the lake and directly across from our front window. We took the dock out because it's getting cold, but we have our own little lakefront and dock too. And then Big Dip Burgers, where you can find us on Yelp, Google. It's quite literally Big Dip Burgers and nothing else for our Facebook. Our Instagram's at Big Dip, and Twitter's the same. And then I'm sorry. Oh, and then our popular items. So previously, I definitely would have said our most popular items would be the barbecue burger and the Jake's Hot Mess burger, which I didn't name, but at this point, now that we've just released our new menu and got it up, our two biggest sellers are probably the Philly cheeseburger and the Chicago dog.
Well, how do you come up with the new items?
Just I see ideas around. I've always liked food a lot, so things I've eaten or things I've just heard of, and if I want to try it, I just I've got that grill now, so I just kind of throw things together in the grill, and if it's not bad or we all like it, this might be worth putting on the menu. And after a little bit of working through the kinks and kind of figuring out what we should put together, we end up with some pretty cool new stuff.
Jacob Sessions with us. He is the owner of Big Dip Burgers over there in Walled Lake, a new restaurant that has opened up in May in the middle of a pandemic. But I will tell you, Jacob, if you tell any woman you like to cook, we'll never turn down a man who wants to cook for us. Unless you're doing something. My husband made one time a single man's chicken, and I like to remind him he was no longer single, and that recipe needed to be thrown out the door. But anything you cook, I'm telling you, you tell a woman you want to cook for them and they will love it. But we wish you the best of luck. I'm going to swing by there this afternoon after work, pick up lunch for my husband as well. So thank you again for being with us on the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.